Welcome back, students. Let's continue with acid, bases and salt, and the next topic, that is usefulness of pH in our daily life. In the previous videos we have discussed about the pH scale. What is pH scale? The definition of the pH scale. What is the mathematical implication of the pH scale? Hello. Okay, so what is the mathematical implication of our pH scale? All these things we have discussed in our previous lecture. Also we have discussed about what are the different values of pH. Okay, means the minimum value of pH, the maximum value of pH, the neutral value of pH. Also what kind of acids are there on the basis of pH scale, the weak acid and the strong acid. What kind of bases are there on the basis of pH scale, that is the weak base and the strong base. All these things we have discussed in our previous class. Now let's move further and have a discussion for the usefulness of pH in our daily life. How pH scale is useful in our daily life, and where we can use the pH scale in our daily life. Okay, so the first example which I am going to use here for the usefulness of pH in our daily life is with the digestive system of ours. Okay, in our digestive system, how the pH is useful to us. Let's talk about this thing. So here, digestive system, digestive system, how pH is important for our digestive system, or how the usefulness of pH can be seen in our digestive system. So first let's talk about what is the digestion process. Okay, so we know that the digestion process in our stomach starts in our from our mouth, and then the food which is present in our mouth, it is been chewed up, and then after that it is been passed to our stomach by esophagus. Okay, that esophagus, or also we call it as food pipe. Okay, it is known as food pipe. So when the food has been transferred from food pipe to stomach, there in the stomach there different kinds of gastric juices are there, which also contains gastric acids. Okay, which also contains gastric acid. Generally this acid is HCl, hydrochloric acid, which is having the pH of about 1 to 2. Okay, it is having the pH of about 1 to 2. It means that it is a very strong acid which is present in our stomach. Okay, so this in order to protect any damage, okay, in order to protect any damage from this HCl acid in our stomach, what is present there a layer of a very thin layer of mucus is present. Okay, a very thin layer of mucus is present in our stomach, which is present in our stomach, which protects our stomach from any damage due to the gastric acids. Okay, any damage due to this gastric acids. But when sometimes we overeat. Okay, but what happens when sometimes we overeat, such as there is a condition that we are going for some outing or something else, there sometimes happens that we overeat. Okay, or our health is not okay, so our digestion system is also not working well. Okay, in that conditions health problem is there. Okay, in all these conditions what happens, the undigestion of food occurs. Okay, what happens, the food remains undigested. The food remains undigested. Okay, so due to the remaining food, due to the undigested food present in our stomach, what happens, more amount of gastric acid is being released out. Okay, more amount of gastric acid is been released out in our stomach, and this extra acid which is released out, it leaks out into our esophagus. Okay, it leaks out into our esophagus, and we know that the stomach is carrying a mucus layer. Okay, but this esophagus does not carry any mucus layer, and due to this what happens, it produces irritation. Okay, it produces irritation in the esophagus. Okay, and we feel irritation in our neck also, and below our neck also, above the stomach and below the neck we feel sometime irritation. Okay, near the lungs we feel irritation. Okay, so this irritation caused due to this gastric acid which has been leaked out in our esophagus, it is termed as acidity. Due to the increased amount of gastric acids in our stomach, the irritation which is caused in our esophagus or in our food pipe, it is termed as acidity. And due to this reason what happens, sometimes gases also in high amount is present out, is released out there. Okay, so in order to stop this acidity or to neutralize this acidity, we can use here neutralization reaction. Okay, in the previous class we have studied about that neutralization reaction. So what is this neutralization reaction? A chemical reaction in which acids reacts with bases to form neutral substances that are termed as salts and water. So this is the neutralization process. Okay, so here the general formula can be acid plus base gives salt, which is a neutral substance, plus water. This is the general neutralization reaction. Okay, so we have to use this neutralization reaction in order to neutralize the acids which are present in our stomach. Okay, so here mild bases such as MgOH twice, okay, which is magnesium hydroxide, or it is also termed as milk of magnesia. We have seen that very thick syrup, it has been recommended by the doctors when you feel this acidity. If you are going to a doctor or if you are going to the chemist shop and you told that I am having acidity in my stomach, then they will give you a very thick liquid or syrup, and they will ask you to drink this 2 times a day. Okay, so this that particular thick syrup, it is nothing other than this milk of magnesia. Okay, it is milk of magnesia, and this milk of magnesia is a mild base. Okay, it is a mild base, so it is the medicine. Okay, now if we are going to see a home remedy for this particular acidity, then we can use baking soda in very small amount. Okay, we can use baking soda, which is also a base. And we can use this baking soda and can release the and can have relief. Okay, and can have relief in acidity, because this base will react with that particular acid which has been present in our stomach, and it will get neutralized there. Okay, and due to this what will happen, the irritation which has been produced due to the production of high amount of acid in our stomach, it will get suppressed up, and we will get relief from acidity. Okay, so this was the pH in our digestive system. Now let's talk about the pH in our mouth. Okay, how pH scale is important for our mouth health. Okay, for our dental health. how pH scale is important for our dental health. For our dental health. So first thing, what is our dental health? First thing, let's talk about this. So our dental health means we are talking about our tooth, okay, our teeth. So we are having 32 teeth. And what is the structure of our teeth? The structure of our teeth is that it is been covered by it is made up of calcium. Okay, it is made up of calcium, and we are having a particular layer. Okay, we are having a particular layer which is known as enamel. Okay, enamel, which protects the calcium which is present in our teeth from being getting reacted with the any type of reactant materials which are present in our surrounding. Okay, so this enamel is very important part of our dental health. Okay, it is a very important, and it plays a very important role in our maintaining our dental health. Okay, so what happens during night time when we sleep? What happens during night time when we sleep? Okay, night time when we sleep, what happens then? There it will happen that in our mouth the saliva contains amylase. Okay, our saliva contains amylase, which is a enzyme, and this enzyme, this amylase, will react or breaks down. Okay, it breaks down the glucose left out of food in our mouth, and will produce acids. Okay, it will break down the glucose which is present in our mouth. Okay, it will produce acid then. And what is the glucose, which glucose is present in our mouth? As generally we do not eat during night time, so how glucose will be present out there? So if we are not maintaining our proper dental, if we are not maintaining proper dental hygiene, means after eating night food or after eating food we are not washing our mouth thoroughly, then what will happen here? The left out of the foods will be remained in our in the gaps of the teeth, or in the places where they can get deposited, okay, in our mouth, if we are not washing our mouth well with water or any other mouth gargle after the food or after any eating thing. Okay, so what will happen there? Some left out will be there present in our mouth. Okay, and the amylase which is present in our saliva, it will react with that particular left out. Okay, it will react with that particular left out, and it will produce acids there. And hence the pH of our mouth will decrease. Okay, the pH of our mouth will decrease. Okay, so the pH of our mouth must be ranging between 5.6 to 7.3. Okay, it means that the acidity of our mouth must not fall below the pH value of 5.6, and it must not be above the value of 7.3. The basicity must not be above the value of 7.3. Okay, so for a healthy mouth, this is the range. But during night time, generally what happens, our pH scale, if any left out food is present in our mouth, then what will happen? The pH will fall below this particular value of 5.6, and more acidic it will gain. Okay, more acidic it will gain. And as the mouth becomes more acidic, as our saliva or mouth becomes more acidic, then what will happen? This enamel gets damaged out. Okay, this enamel gets damaged out, and hence what will happen? Due to this the protective layer which is enamel is getting damaged out for the teeth, then this teeth will react with the acids which has been present in our mouth. Okay, and hence our dental health will hamper there. Okay, our dental health will hamper there, and the teeth will get to start decay. Okay, the teeth will start to get decay, so teeth decay will start there. So this is only known as the teeth decay. Okay, so this is only the teeth decay which happens generally due to increase of acidity in our mouth. So what we do for this, we can use we use generally the toothpastes. Okay, we use the toothpaste which are containing some amount of bases. Okay, which are containing some amount of bases which neutralizes the saliva of our mouth when we generally do toothbrush on morning time. Okay, similarly we must use this toothpaste after our taking food during the night time also. Then also it will help to maintain the pH value of our mouth during night also while sleeping. Also some people use mouth gargles. Okay, some people use mouth gargles which also contains some bases and which helps to neutralize the saliva present in our mouth, and it keeps in the range between 5.6 to 7.3. Okay, so this was the pH, how pH affects our dental health. Next, the pH of our blood. The third thing that where pH is used is the pH of our blood. Our blood is also a solution. Okay, our blood is also solution, and it is containing different types of substances. You know that the blood contains red colored cell that is known as RBC. Okay, red blood corpuscles, WBC, white blood corpuscles, okay, and platelets. Okay, these things are present in our blood. Okay, these things are present in our blood. So these three constitutes our blood. So all these things are also having some amount of basicity or acidity in them. So what is the range for basicity of our blood? Let's see. So the normal value for the pH of our blood ranges between, okay, it is slightly basic, very slightly basic, and the normal value for our blood's pH ranges between 7.35 to 7.45. It means that it is near about the neutral point only. It is very much near about the neutral point, but it is slightly basic, means it is slightly on the higher side towards the basic. Okay, if the basicity increases or the acidity increases of our blood, then it means that there is something wrong with our health. There must be something wrong with our health, and these things has been tested during the blood test and all these things. Okay, so the generally the pathologist, they test the amount of carbon dioxide or the amount of carbonate which is present in our blood, and according to that only they predict the pH of our blood. Okay, next is the pH of soil. This is not related to our body, but it is also a very important consideration in our daily life, because as we need food for our living purpose, and the food is being cultivated from the soil only. So in order to cultivate a good amount of food, what is required? Good soil is required. Okay, so the pH of soil is also very important part in our daily life. Okay, so the pH of soil must be between 6 to 8. Okay, the pH of soil must be between the pH value of 6 to 8. Okay, it means that it must be very much near about the neutral point only, not less than 6 and not greater than 8. Okay, if it is greater than 8, then what will happen? the soil, the plants which are producing there, okay, the plants which are producing there, they will be having deficient of carbonates, hydrogen carbonates, and sodicity will be present there, okay. And due to this reason, what will happen, the growth of the plant, okay, the growth of the plant will be hamper out there. Similarly, if there is a acidic nature, it means that it is lesser than 6, then what will happen there, the minerals, okay, and the toxicities will be there, their minerals and the toxicities will be there, and nutrient deficiencies will occur, okay. So how we can there will be toxicity will be there, and how we can tolerate this thing. So we can tolerate, or we can make the soil near the basic levels by using some of the chemicals, such as generally for acidic condition, in order to treat the acidic condition, lime is used, okay, lime is used with the soil in order to maintain the pH of the soil and to have a good growth of soil. Here between the value of 6 to 8 pH, what will happen, good growth of plant will be obtained, okay, good growth of plant will be obtained out. But if the pH scale is above the 8 or below the 6, then what will happen, toxicity or different kind of deficiencies in the nutrient or products will be seen out there, okay. So hence in order to maintain the pH of the soil, we use different types of chemicals, such as sometimes we use lime for maintaining the acidity. We can use some tolerant species, okay, we can use some tolerant species in the soil if it is having more basicity. In order to maintain this basicity there, we will plant that particular plants, then the basicity of that particular soil will be tolerated by that particular plant, then we can grow any other plant after that particular cultivation, okay. So this was the pH of our soil, how pH scale is very important for the soil. Next let's talk about one more example of pH scale in our muscles, related to our body only, pH scale of acids in our muscles. So what happens when we work out, okay, when we work out means when we exercise or we run or we do some physical work. So what happens in our muscles, the oxygen reacts with the glucose present in our muscles and produces energy there. With energy, it also produces carbon dioxide, okay. But as during workout or during exercise or during playing and all this thing, what happens, we require very high amount of energy there, okay, very high amount of energy. But due to lack of oxygen in our muscles, what happens, there occurs a process in which the glucose breaks out into energy, okay, it breaks out into energy without the reaction with oxygen, and here with energy, very small amount of lactic acid is present, okay, very small amount of lactic has been released out there. But as this process is very much needed in order to produce more amount of energy there, okay, in order to produce more amount of energy there, to produce more energy and to give the energy to the muscles in order to retain all the things which has been used out there during playing, exercising and all this thing, then what will happen, a large amount of lactic acid will be present in our will be produced in our muscles. And due to the production of this large amount of lactic acid, what will happen, our muscles will get fatigued out, okay, our muscles will get fatigued out. Fatigue means they will get jam, okay, they will jam, okay. And due to this reason, what will happen, we will feel some pain there, okay, we will feel some pain there. And due to this we will be unable to and cramps will come there, okay, we call it as cramps. And due to this reason, we will be unable to do some work for some time up till this cramp is been removed out there, okay. So due to the increase of pH, due to the lowered up pH value in our muscles, what happens, this cramps occurs, and due to this reason, we are unable to do some physical work after producing this high amount of lactic acid in our muscles, okay. So these were some of the pH consequences which are present in our daily life. Okay, also you have seen in our one more example I can give you for this pH scale, that copper utensils if present in your home, okay, for puja purpose or all these things we use generally copper utensils. So their green colored layer is been formed out on the copper, or the copper gets blackened out there. Okay, so in order to retain its luster surface, we use lime juice, lemon juice. Okay, we use lemon juice or tamarind. Okay, or tamarind with some of the washing soda in order to retain its lustrous surface. Okay, shiny surface. So it is also the use of pH scale only. Here what happens when copper utensils get oxidized, okay, they get oxidized, and I have told you before also that when oxidation of metal is been taken place, okay, means metal oxides are formed, metal oxides are formed, then what happens there? When metal oxides are formed, here what happens, the metal oxides are having basic nature. Okay, they are having basic nature. So in order to remove these metal oxides, we will use their acids. So this lemon juice and tamarinds are sour in taste. Okay, it means they are containing acid there. So we use these acids in order to neutralize or remove this metal oxide layer from that particular copper utensil, and hence we retain back the shiny surface of our copper utensils. Okay, so students, these were some of the important pH usefulness of pH in our daily life, and we will continue in the next lecture with some of the questions which are very important for this particular chapter and for the first chapter also. Okay, for both the chapters we will have the discussion with of different questions. Okay, so we will start with the chapter number 1 first, then we will move to this acid base chapter later. Okay, so in the next lecture I would like to give you some more questions related to that particular chapter. We will discuss about some of the MCQs, some of the fill-ups and all these things in the next class. So let's meet up in the next class. Thank you for watching the video. Bye.